we're here to report about the evidence
Photos
gathering
malito, uy.
tools. But before that, here are our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to identify the different evidence gathering tools, determine the importance of each of the evidence gathering tools, and discuss each of the evidence gathering tools. So, observation, first kanang evidence gathering tools is the observation checklist. Observation checklist is useful when observing performance in both real-world situations or in simulated environments where candidates are able to demonstrate skills, application of workplace procedures, including OHS. So when we say observation, it is an act of recognizing and noting a fact or occurrence often involving measurement with instrument or a record of description so obtained. So when we say observation, di ba kay merely mag-observe lang ka. Ato lang gamit na kanang sense is ang atong sight. Kaya kung mag-observe ka, di ka kailangan na magsamok-samok sa atong candidate. Kaya dapat ato lang tanawin kung sakto ba na ilang dibuhan. So, kailangan na ito gamiton ang observation checklist. So, this checklist is used by the assessors to assess the candidates by observing. This checklist is a guide to make the assessment decision, to provide feedback to the candidates, and to enhance the objectivity of the assessment decision. So, kanina observation checklist, kaya kanang magamit ni siya kanang in order to kana makamak dito sa assessment decision if competent ba siya or dili competent. So, ang observation is not appropriate for activities that occur irregularly or that take place over an extended time, a period of time, or are difficult to observe. So, dili ka kundi dahil mag-observe o kanang dili ka na consistent with ang iyahang paan, dili ka na regular iyahang period of time na kailangan. But if dili available ang assessor anak ang time niya, anak kanila iwas. So, dili jud ka ng appropriate gamiton ang observation. And second, activities that require privacy and confidentiality. So, dili ka pwede mag-observe if kanang assessment is nag-require o kanang confidentiality. Kaya dapat between kanang the assessor and the candidate, medyo na siya kanang solo nga candidate. Dapat anha kanang mura na kanang mukha sa confidentiality. So, hindi pwede ang observation, naging observation, kaya dapat kanaan ka observe ka lang. And then, the third, situations where it may be culturally inappropriate to observe the activity. So, understandable na tayo nga, hindi pwede kaya makalabag siya sa ilang culture na paan, hapon. And then lastly, situations where workplace safety may be compromised. So, understandable po na kanang dili kanang appropriate na buhaton ang observation if makakompromise siya sa ato ang safety kanang when making the assessment within the workplace. So that's all for my report, and let's proceed to the next report. Sample observation, checklist with questioning, demonstration. So mo ni ang tanang table na gamiton bitaw sa assessors if kanang magwa na sa demonstration, then candidate name, tayo si Guata, itang yan dire sa assessor's name, isa ang kanang mo guide. Then, project-based assessment. So, mali inahambuan bitaw, project na ilang gambon sa anang adlawa. Then, qualification pa na, procure in situ pa or bread and pastry production in situ. Then, date of assessment, ganun sana gawin. Then, time of assessment, ganun sa magsugod o ganun sa mangman. Then, instructions for demonstration. So, before sila buhat sa ilang demonstration, nasuit ka ng instruct ang assessor o sa ilang buhaton lang na sila yung mga buhaton natin dapat o kanang sakto po. Then, given the necessary materials, tools, and equipment, the candidate must be able kanang pila ka hours, then materials and equipment. So, dapat so na sa kumpleto ng materials and equipment. Kaya, di man naman mo nag-isa ka kuan ka ng activity o mga materials na gamitin sa mga candidate. Then,
observation. During the demonstration of skills with the candidate, so during sa demonstration, ang assessors kay iyang ibutang kung usay giguhat sa candidate. Then, to show if evidence is demonstrated, i-check namin naman yes, no, or in A. Then sunod, the candidates demonstrates was or satisfactory ba or not satisfactory ang candidate. I'll give the floor to si Rebecca.
So we have also here the example of questioning tool. So you as an assessor dapat mag-generate ka of different kinds of questions, like for example, extension or reflection question, safety question, contingency question, infrequent events, and rules of regulation. So mag-imo na i-generate yung mga questions, for example, sa reflection questions. So itahay ka na, why do we need to familiarize the different tools or equipment and their function kitahay? Or kitay sa safety, nganong mag-meet man ta magsuot o kuan PPE. So kani, it will be ang answered by the candidates. So kitahay na question ani, so ali sa ubos, kitahay bulit ni mo, kigulit kitahay ni mo sa diha. So kanang i-answer to sa ang candidate. Kitahay, we need to wear protective equipment to ensure our safety. Kitahay mga ingana. And then ang assessor, iya nang checkan of if satisfactory ba ang response sa ang candidate. So iya nang checkan yes or no. Then, ali sa ubos, wala ni iyang analysis puro sa overall analysis sa based sa answer sa candidate. And then sa ubos, we have here your general comments ang highlighting the strengths and sa part na need pa i-improve. And then sa ubos is ang signature sa both candidate and assessor and the details ang ilagay sa ilan. That's all.
So, next is questioning. It is also an evidence gathering tool. So, asking a question is a widely used in teaching, learning, and assessment techniques. Tools that you might develop to support this methodology include oral questioning. So, di ba, every assessment or every demonstration is na-adjoy oral questioning after. And also written questions, katong like written examination, and interviews and questionnaires. Oral questioning is a common assessment technique na gamit na kaayudot namudri kada paan may mga assessment with oral questioning in exam. And it does not involve a large investment of time dili sa mga cost of dako nga time, and iyang responses is makaprovide of useful evidence of a candidate's technical knowledge a set of knowledge na magamit mo on a daily basis, and their understanding of workplace procedures mga safety measures or questions. So, questioning also allows you to obtain clarification, confirmation, or supplementation when needed. So, for example, responses to questions like, what would you do if, mga question what would you do if there are some irregularities occur during the assessment? So, kung the question is an effective way to determine whether the candidate is able to deal effectively makadeal sa mga contingencies na mo arise during the assessment process, like may mga breakdowns of equipment or changes of routines like we share din na itong sa contingency management skills. And also, it is maka-anticipate sila o maka-suppress o mga problems na arise out of the work process. So, I'll go to oral questioning may also be a reasonable way to accommodate a candidate's need for consideration of their language and literacy skills level. So, oral questioning kay before na o after na ni siya sa demonstration bitaw sa mga candidate mo ni kay na ipangutan na assessors o na
na-meet ba nimo ang iyahang gi-instruct o napakilahimo nga mali nga wa dito sa gi-instruct sa assessors. Then, remember that the assessment should not demand higher literacy, language, or communication skills than those required for the job itself. So, kanang bisan mag-demand of high literacy and language or kanang communication skills ang assessment. Kay kasagaran bitaw ni kay kanang skills din siya gamiton of imong ability kung maklibaw ba ka anang isa ka butang or agi panimo sa assessors. Then, depende na po na kung required pa sa inyong job. Then, questions is a preparation for times when observation cannot be used, verifying observation. So, na kay proof nga ding-observe ka ng imong candidate, like kanang example, documentation, mo dili kasagaran nga gamiton like sa mga maestra, mag-document sila kay like na sila yung projects kung kaya siguro na nila, maunid po na nila, then underpinning knowledge, then dimensions of competency. So, mali na-discuss sa group 1 ganina, katunay task skills, task management skills, competency management skills, and job or environmental skills.
So next is the third-party report. Third-party evidence is evidence gathered from workplace supervisors, peers, and others to support an assessment decision. Therefore, gathering third-party evidence can be an essential part of the assessment process. So, ang third-party report is, for example, wala ang assessor. So, ang third party or the assistant sa assessor is siya ang kanang mo-observe sa candidate or the trainees sa ilang paghimuon na assessment. Then, once na mag-observe na sa third party or the assistant, so, kung siya mag-notes or kanang isa itong SWOT o kung sa iyang na-observe sa assessment, then mo to ang iyang i-report sa assessor. The next is the portfolio. A portfolio is a collection of materials prepared by a candidate to demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and understanding. It has often been used as a tool for candidates seeking RPL or the recognition of prior learning. It includes self-assessment, interview process, and or direct observation either in the job in the workplace or in a simulated environment. So, kay ba kung familiar na mo dahil yung portfolio. So, ang portfolio is mag-compile mo ang mga documents nga like na inyong mga output na then portfolios can be time-consuming to compile and to assess. So if you elect to use this methodology, you need to exercise care in developing precise guidelines. So, mag-compile mo og portfolio, make sure nga di ninyo what on kay nadan kay ang mga evidence sa about sa imong output na ginama. So next is the sample portfolio record.
So, sample portfolio report sheet. So, from the word portfolio, it is a compilation of the professional materials that exemplifies your skills, beliefs, training, and experiences. And these are the guidelines on how saan ninyo pagbuhat ang kanang portfolio. So, isulat ninyo candidate name, then assessor's name, and competency standards. So, nani siya makita sa PR kung saan mo ang standard nga nakuha sa competency. And then, unit of competency. So, for example, kanang mag-imo ka prepare edit course. So, imuha din ipang suwat kung isa imuha kanang gapunon. So, these are the item numbers. So, isuwat mo niya. And also, the evidences shows that kanang nga imuha din ang gibuhat nga kanang imuhang gibuhat ni unit of competency. And then also, this one, candidate's names and candidate's signature, imong pirmahan and date sa kanang imuhang design. That's all.
So next, portfolio evaluation form. So, kunin siya nga form ang nagamiton sa assessor when evaluating the performance of the candidate. So, first, kunin siya ang format nga angay nga awaton. So, first, the candidate's name, muna ibutan lang ang kanang pangan sa candidates, then assessor's name, then competency standards, muni ang kanang pagkabuhaton nga. For example, nga mag-preparing whole desserts, muna ibutang ani, then ang unit of competency muna specific. Like for example, prepared whole desserts, muna ibutang dire. Then the evidence provided by the candidate is mag-check ra kadiri kung valid ba, authentic, sufficient, and correct. Then the contents of the portfolio provided satisfactory evidence that the candidate. So na mga list diri sa criteria kung mo ba na kanang perform ba na sa mga candidates. Then butang lang kadiri sa number 1 or checkan lang nimo diri more na sa haton. And that's all.
So lastly, we have for each type of evidence gathering method, there is a corresponding evidence gathering tools, including such as written test. So for written test, it should be done every after the demonstration or even in discussion. So written test can be collected through like quizzes, multiple choice, matching type, and true or false. So next we have oral questioning checklist. So this type of checklist is the basis on how you will rate the way magtubag ang imong candidates about sa imong question. Then the observation, we have the observation checklist. So kanito go is then sila kanang criteria nga mo imong basihan nga mo rate ka kung sa ilang performance na nabuhatan sa every candidate.
Okay, so good afternoon everyone. So we already know what are the evidence gathering tools. So pila ganito? Okay, so there are 7 evidence of gathering tools. So in this part, we focus only the observation checklist. So we already know what the observation checklist and also the observation is not appropriate for. So this one. And also in this part, in this discussion, we talk about also the samples observation like this. So do not forget when you say candidate name, so that is you yourself. So when you say assessor name, mo na ang person na inyong i-assess. So ayaw mo kalibo ganing duha. And also we talk about the asking questions and also sa pag-gather sa questions sa mga yes. So, maon siya. I think that's all for my part. Thank you so much.
So before we end the report of Group 3 na may clarification pa. Nalibog mo kay Wala? Anyone? From the class? Sure? Yes. Yun. Sure. You can ask question na para Sana bola. So I think that's all. Stop na natin ko siya. And also pangutanan since isummarize na po ni Miss. What's your last name? Victor. So take your seat and I'll give you 10 minutes to